Oh, shoot, I gotta get this going.
You're live.
Oh, great. Are we live right now?
Yeah,
Okay. Doesn't say we're live, but
I know,
okay.
but
Now?
we are.
Now? Good afternoon, evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Whip Finish Wednesday. Katie and I are so excited to see everyone hopping on to tie some flies, tell some jokes, and have a fabulous evening. Time flies. I am getting loaded up so I can see comments, and I've got my beautiful bride over here moderating and telling whenever I am skipping over something. And this darn thing is not working at all. But tonight we're going to be tying the Dolly Llama, which is one of the most popular flies over in Alaska. We headed up there next month, in just about a month from now. And so between now and then, most of the flies that we'll be tying will be for that trip, whether it'll be for rainbow trout or for grayling or for whatever is going to be biting our flies. That's what we're going to be shooting for. So um, the Dalai Lama is a very simple fly. I did just now learn a really good lesson, but here are the ones that I've tied in preparation for the show and for the trip. Probably tie, I don't know, a couple dozen of them. But here are the black ones that we posted. There's a single hook in the back. Got a little white throat there. And obviously a hook. But just for the fun of it, we were going live just now with all with some of the people who are members of the channel. And I just tied this one real quick. No big deal. You see the red throat. It's a little bit different color, but as I was cutting the hook off, and I'll show you the technique in a little bit. One of the most important things when you're cutting a hook off is don't hurt yourself. Don't have it go anywhere. Number two, you see how long that flash is on this side? And this side, no flash. There's a little piece right there. Don't cut your flash off when you're cutting the hook. That's no fun. Okay, Katie, I'm trying to get I might have restart it real quick. If you see any comments, tell me hello or tell me something. All right. So did you have any pictures to share?
No.
No. Okay. Well, thank you to everyone who did the red Panama last week. I shared most of the ones that were tagged us on Instagram, and they looked wonderful. There were some really cool ones going. Let's go live on Instagram. Speaking of which,
I'll have to show those next week.
show them next week. That's okay.
Yeah.
But there was half a dozen people that posted them on Instagram, and they looked really good. That's one of those patterns that's it's got a lot of moving parts to it. But this one, let's go over the materials for this one. Magnum Rabbit Zonker strips. This is it right here. Let's switch over to the side so you can see. Magnum, this is the purple one. The main one I'm using is black, which is not the opposite of white. I got red, just all sorts, but I got a ton of black, and I can't figure out where my black bag is. But we'll be using the black as the main ingredient. Also, saltwater flashaboo. I've got this in different colors, but this stuff right here. Can you see that? Yeah. I've got it, like I said, I've got that in different colors. And hooks, I'm going to be using the Arex Home Run 482 trailer hook here. 482 in a size 2. And I'm using a Mustad hook for the front. This is the 3366 BR Sproat hook. But the biggest thing with this is most of this is going to be cut off. So this is mainly just a shank. I hope your weather has settled. I heard there are baseball-sized hail the size of baseballs in Greenville, Tennessee earlier today. Thankfully, we did not get hail like that, Michael. I'm glad. For now, it has settled. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Thread I'm using is 8/0 classic wax thread, black, and so yeah. Now I need a hook to get going. What's up, everyone on Instagram? If you are good from Sheraton, Wyoming, Larry Longland. Larry, if you have the old YouTube, go over and switch over to there. You'll be able to see a lot better. And sorry I missed your comment, but I'm trying to watch comments over on YouTube. So I'm putting the size hook. Now, the neat thing about fishing in Alaska, one of the rules I've been told is the hook gap cannot be bigger than 1/2 an inch. So I've got my trusty little ruler here. As you can see, it's right close to it, but it is not bigger than 1/2 an inch, the hook gap itself. So that's what's up, Wes? That's one of the rules is hook gap no bigger than 1/2 an inch. So got that one loaded in there. I'm also using spider wire. There's a lot of different kinds of, when you look on people tying these, they'll use different things. This is just what I had. 40-pound spider wire braid. It's pretty old. I've had it for a long time, but I wasn't going to go and buy a new thing of braid.
But I found it on the floor.
Katie did. I was like scared because I was like, God, I had that thing. I've saved it forever. Where is it? And then Katie found it sitting on the floor. Because she saves the day like that. All right, so we'll just cut that off. So ask whatever questions you want. This is a very simple fly, but as all things, like, it's not simple if you don't know how to do it. The hardest part about this fly, and the hardest part about most flies, is just starting. So I've got a nice little thread base here. I'll go back to the back. I'm going to pull out my zonker. So I'm just going to do black. Now, the guy who is the resident there, who's not our guide, but basically our guide, he said black with whatever highlight color you want, but black leeches, 3 inches long, with whatever highlight color. So that's why black is going to be my main color. I'm going to do a few unnecessary things, like I'm going to cut a little taper in this just because I feel like I'll like it a little bit better. And I'm tying it for me as well as a fish.
Hey, Truman.
Ooh.
Truman's on.
Here we go. So see, I got a little that. What's up, Truman? We're cutting Magnum zonkers. I'm glad you do there, Al. So this, I don't really want super long as far as the leather. You can see right there's the leather, goes just past the hook point. So you'll kind of lick your fingers. I like using my bodkin to really get a good part in there. See, I've got like a little bit of a part. Because this is a Magnum, I like folding it around the hook. So you see how it's kind of bent around? I'll do
Henry.
a few.
Hi, Henry. If I had a squeaky
Henry.
toy, I'd squeak it right now for Henry.
Yay, Terry and Bill.
I don't have any within reach. Do you?
It's been I don't, but it's been a while since we've had
Little Henry.
It's been a while since Truman's been on here. I think Bill's taking up slack and being the welcoming committee to Truman anyway. It's
okay, so there, that's Henry. Little Henry.
Did you find a little emoji?
I found an emoji for Henry.
Well, good. I'm sure he's pleased. He got his own emoji. All right, so all I'm doing is just tightening this.
He's looking at the TV.
He's looking at the TV. Well, of course he is. He hears his name come out of the TV. All right, so I just about have it. I keep this is one of the, another thing you don't need to spend as much time on. It's getting this part just right. So 3 wraps here. Bring this around, pull tight, make sure we're looking good like that. It is. Just for the heck, I'll do 2 more.
Misha's snoring. I wish I could like.
They could probably.
She's like in the other room, like breathing heavily. Like
They might be able to hear it close anyway. If you're watching on YouTube, come over and check us out on Instagram. You'll be able to see quite a bit. Or Instagram. Sorry, YouTube. If you're watching on Instagram, come over and check us out on YouTube. You'll be able to see a bit better. And you'll be able to see me mess up even more. We're tying this Dolly Llama for a trip here in the next little bit. That we'll be going up to Alaska and fishing. So all I've done here is just, let me zoom in for Instagram folks and get it straightened out so you can see. So pretty much all we've done here is tied on a trailer hook. See, it looks nothing too fancy at all. I'm gonna take my little spider wire that I showed earlier, and once again, this is just what I had. I'm gonna cut off 6 inches. I'm gonna take it, put the 2 ends together. See, I got both ends together. So I can put it through like that. There we go.
good job.
Good job. Well, that wasn't that good of a job because
I think you got it looped around the thing.
There we go. If I can get that hair out of there, perfect. So see how it's kind of bridled through like that? That's the way we want it, just like that. No twist or anything.
Al's got a question.
Well, tell me the difference. Tell you the difference in what? Now,
The mink and the...
No, I don't think. Well, maybe you said something about mink. What's up, Barry? Barry just sent me a note on WhatsApp. So I put a little bit of head cement on here, and just for the fun of it, I'll do it. That soak in, just add a little bit of protection. There we go. Put that away. Then we'll take this off. Bring this back around. We'll just set that there for now. And now I'm going to lose my cones. Al, what do you need to know? What would you like to know the difference of? So I'm using large brass nickel cones. I think they're brass. They're not tungsten. They're all not the high dollar ones. I'm going to add lead to it, or lead free wire to bulk it up a bit. Oh, come on. There we go. I thought I had these already ready for the show. Obviously I didn't. So now we're going to bring this here, start our thread, just like always. I bet Josh Risson is tying up his as we speak, and he'll have it done. Might already have it done. What's up, Michael? What's up, Chris? Young man and lady. La la, Katie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we've got this. What I'm trying to do is just on this particular hook, if you look, my thread doesn't go past the hook point because that's all the shank I'm going to use. I'm going to cut for about where my fingernail is here. I'm going to cut all that off. So now I'm going to take here's what I did just now. Lay it back tight, snug. Bring this around, make sure everything's pretty much straight. Put a few wraps in here. Now I want, just because I've tied a few of these, and I know how the length, I'm looking for a 3-inch long streamer, 3-inch long leech. So I want this to go back to just a little bit behind that spring. See how that tail is? And see how this is straight here as far as this, the spider wire. So now I'm going to kind of tighten this up. Okay, now if you guys want to know the trick of the night, here's the trick. You can sit here and fight with this all you want to. See how it's kind of a pain? Like I can, yeah, that works. That actually was really easy. I can go down and go through here. But when that wire starts getting frayed, if you'll get a bobbin threader, like so, pull it through, see how easy that is. We'll do the same thing here. Get a bobbin threader. I hear Misha snoring from here, honey.
I know. She's so tired.
I took her on a good walk today. She's so tired. She's getting ready for us to be done with her show so she can get all woken back up. But use your bobbin threader to do that. Makes that process just a touch easier. So now we got that in. Pull this behind here. Get my one good layer here to pinch all that down. And see how now my cord's going through the hook eye back down through all this. So now it's been pretty difficult for it to pull out. Just like that. Now I'm going to take some scissors. I don't like using my regular flat tine scissors for that because the braid will totally destroy just about any kind of scissors you got, unless you've got specific braid scissors. All right. I think that's good. I see some extra little pieces that are kind of worrying me, so I'm going to go over everything one more time. That's what I thought. Pulling it like that. So there we go. And I'll say it again, those of you all that are on Instagram, come over and check us out on YouTube. There's not many of you on Instagram, and that's totally fine. But hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit better. So now I'm going to use 025 or 035 wire, lead or lead free. We'll do, let's say 11 wraps. There's 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Get one more, maybe. There we go. Perfect. Let's fold this around so we got no waste. There we go. So now we got a nice little weighted, yeah. I definitely don't want that to be jamming around. So usually when I pull that off, back in there, it just kind of disappears. That's not wanting to disappear. So it's good now. So I'm going to cover this up somewhat. Doesn't have to be every single thread wrap or lead wrap, but I like to give it a little bit. That way my materials and my thread doesn't just totally sink down in between the lead. Just like that. I'm going to take my rabbit sonker again, just a little bit. So what you want to do is you want all the tension to be on your the articulation wire, the spider wire. So the part that's moving, or the green wire, not the zonker. So green wire is tight. We're going to leave it the zonker a little bit looser, just a touch. Get this around. So it looks pretty good, but not perfect. So I'll tighten it up like that. I like to go back and forth right here. Because that gets it to where this wrap right here really locks everything in. 3 again. I'll pull tight. Bring it back to the hide again. Back on up. Now I want to unspool my thread to flatten it all out. Make sure it's as flat as I can get it. Good enough. And now I'm going to go back over my thread, my lead a little bit, because your side of it needs some more thread. I didn't realize how bare that looked. I'm not really trying to build up bulk. I just don't want there to be all this exposed lead, thread, lead. Just like that. You guys are quiet tonight unless I'm missing something.
No, they are quiet.
I'm thinking about AK Sledneck. He used to watch all the time. It took a few months before he realized that AK Sledneck is actually Alaska. AK was Alaska. And I don't know where in Alaska he lives, but I think he's more off the beaten path. And that's saying something if you're in Alaska, to say, hey, you go to Alaska and I'm more off the beaten path. Okay, now I got everything. So I got it nice and covered up. So we're going to wrap this zonker slightly overlapping, just pulling everything back. If you want to have a brush handy, here we go. Just to make sure everything's nice and fluffed out. You can, probably not super necessary, but roughly halfway. That's what I'm looking to cover up. So they're not they're definitely overlapping, but not like crazy overlapping. Just enough to catch just a bit of it. I think that should be good. What I've probably done is too much. So I'll cut off right here. Try to make a part where I'm going to actually cut 1, 2, just to hold it there. And now I'm going to try to just cut the hide. There we go. And I'm going to get my bodkin and try to work this. So you can see the piece of leather here. I want to try to push that underneath the cone here. And if I've got too much, that's fine. I can always cut it off, but I like to leave it a little bit long because I can always take more off. I can't put it back on. So just like that. See how it went under there? Perfect. And I like to give it a good brush because if it's going to pull out, I want it to pull out now, not later on. Okay, so we've got a nice little thin spot right here. That is on purpose because I'm going to get my white zonker strip. Again, Magnum. I can't see. Huh. I know I haven't used a whole one, but I'm going to get about 1 inch. At least that commercial was for fishing. Oh gosh, what commercial was it, Freddie? I don't think I want to know, but So I'm going to cut about an inch. That's it. Just about an inch long piece. Same as before. I'm going to cut, but I'm going to do both ends with a slight taper. And doing these tapers on here probably aren't necessary. It's not necessary, but don't, like, I used to try to tackle wares. That's not too bad. I used to spend a lot of time trying to get the triangle perfect on them. Don't do that. That does not have to be perfect at all. Okay, so we've got this little throat part done. See, I've got that part kind of at a point. I'm going to take this. This, hold it in place. Make sure I don't let too much. So you see, I've got that ready to go. I'll pull it tight. And once again, use my bodkin to push it under there. And just do my best to make sure that you guys can't see what I'm doing. See how that tab is all the way under? Now I can really lock everything in. This is not known as a commercial in a live video. We're trying to debate whether we want to keep that part up, but but we're really excited because we were able to go live just now as we're getting ready, and I just went live with my phone, and just the people who had who were official members of the thing, I guess, could see that we're live, and they got to kind of sit on and watch us, or watch me tie a quick fly at the very beginning, and hang out. So that was kind of cool. All right, so I took my saltwater flash above here, and I don't even know what color this is. I couldn't find the regular Mirage color, but just thick flash. You notice it typically has a curve. So I'm going to take the curve going out. The 1, 2, 1, 2. It's like I said, the first piece, the shorter one, the curve's going out. So when I fold it back, the curve's going in, so it doesn't stick out quite as much. Just don't make these the exact same length. 1, 2. And we'll do this one kind of cool like I did the first one. Let's cut this off a little bit. I don't know how this is going to work, but here's some crinkles on. See, that kind of gives it a nice little flash like that. It's black. UV black. See, I'm just kind of holding it like that. Pull it back like that. There you go. Now it's got a little extra flash to it. And I think that I didn't have those on the ones I posted today. I think that was pretty cool. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of this, pull it off, a little bit of this. We're just going to make some rabbit dubbing. Oop. And I'll pull this back. Ow. Don't do, there you go. There it is. Oh, yes. Free Tibet. I'll free my finger. Oh, did you just finish watching 7 Years in Tibet? Great Brad Pitt movie. Or something going on right now in Tibet that I'm not aware of.
think it's just like a constant like thing, like free to bed,
Yeah,
like forever.
that's what I'm saying. That something changed. Or...
No, I mean like it's just.
Oh, I think I
It's
might.
just what
I
you
might need a
said.
Band-Aid, honey. Oh gosh. Mm. So rough.
The hazard of the job.
This is yeah.
Like you need to stop what you're doing, or like OSHA's gonna come in here and be. You can't like carry on when you bleed. You need to go over to the kit.
To the care station.
Yes.
To the kit. Mm.
I'm gonna write you. I'm writing you up right now.
What's up, Ed? I know Truman or Freddie.
I'm writing you up, and I'm gonna send it to HR.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll come back and I'll glue this later. So let's switch over to the side. I'll show you what I want to do. So this obviously has got a very sharp hook here. The one that said this is a size 2, but per the rules, it can't be over, the hook gap cannot be over 1/2 inch. I do need a tourniquet right there. I mean, Truman, can you, it's right there. It's right there. I poked, I'm bleeding big time. Anyway, so 1/2 inch, but we're going to take this hook point off, and we're trying not to get blood on the nice little white zonker. But I've done this a bunch of times, and I've never messed up until just now when I tied this one live for the members, the red one or the black with the red thing. And when I cut it off, I cut my dang flash. That'll never work, ever. But you want to get some good heavy. Go switch back over to the vise, please. So we're going to pull this down like this. We're going to get some good heavy clippers like so. See how that is? And what I do, I definitely don't like cutting my flash or cutting anything, but I'll put this in my hand like this. So I've got the whole thing. See, I've got it like that. You want to switch back over to the side. What's up, Randy? So now I've got the whole thing in my hand. So you definitely don't want to cut your flash off, but you really don't want this to break off. So like that, like that. Now we've got, make sure you know where this is because it'd be a bad day. And well, look, we got our flash here and our flash here. We're good. So now that bad boy is ready. It's looking good. So there is our finished Dolly Llama.
Lovely.
So we're gonna we'll tie 1 or 2 more, and we'll do a different flavor here, different color, but the basics is going to be the same. So ask questions. Dolly Llama is from Tibet. Oh yes, okay, gotcha. Sorry, Steve. You're absolutely correct.
Look up how to spell because I knew like I didn't want to use Dolly Llama like the name like so then I realized that the fly is actually spelled like Dolly Parton.
Oh, well that's good. Hopefully,
Well, I'm sure his name is like
actually,
trademarked or something.
could be. Yes, Steve. I apologize.
I know, Jimmy. I know. I told him that I am reporting him to HR because he's bleeding all over the place, and that is not safe work environment.
And I was offending everyone as well while I was showing my finger that I just basically cut off.
I'm offended to work in the same environment as you. It's probably really disgusting.
It's
over
terrible, terrible. You know what's terrible is I can't find. Okay, honey. Black Robert Zonker strips. Where would you be?
Where you keep all the Zonker strips.
I know, but I've got like a dang things. Have I already gone through a whole pack of black? I hope not. Well, I wasn't planning on running out. Not on the show. I know I just had that. This is awesome sound. Can you not hear us, Steve? Did we just not lose you? Can anyone hear us? Native Watercraft. Native Watercraft. I think Native Watercraft, someone just took my zonkers. All right. Well, Katie, I'm going.
I mean, yeah, the sound's coming through.
Okay, good. All right. So we have Magnum Rabbit Strip Black. Nayan. So one thing that I think it was Matt Bennett. He would buy this stuff by the pound, by the pounds. Hello, Instagram. If you're watching this on Instagram, come over and check us out on YouTube. You'll be able to see better, hear better, and see better, and all this stuff. So Matt would he'd hang up his zonkers because when you get them out of the pack like this, they're kind of curled up and don't look that good. But he'd hang them up, and just sitting out and hanging, they look a lot better when they're done. Going bonkers looking for zonkers. That's right. But I can't even find my zonkers, much less get a nail and like hang them all up. So each one of these should be roughly 12 inches. They're usually a little bit shorter. So that's 6. And here is 15, 11. And if you don't have a ruler on your vise, I've already used it twice in this show. Get a ruler. These things are relatively cheap. They're magnetized, so you just stick here. But get a ruler of some sort to stick on your vise. It'll make everything a lot easier. All right, so a lot easier, a lot more convenient. So I'm going to find a halfway point here. Go like this. Cut it. Now we got 2 pieces. I'm going to do a quick chop there. Quick chop here. There we go. See, don't spend much more time on it than that. I'm going to bring this back. Find my out there. I want to get my middle point or my part. Oh, that didn't work. Bam. All right, so now we've got our doodad there. We're looking at lengthwise. That's pretty good. Maybe a little bit on the long side. So back. I just don't like capturing unnecessary hairs different places. Which I think that's what I'm getting ready to do. All right. So, okay, take your Magnum rabbit strip, fold it, like kind of roll it around the hook shank like that. And now we can put 3 wraps in. Look at it, make sure it's centered, pull tight. Make sure it's all good like that. Pull this back. Put it right up against there. And then we're going to do the same thing here, but this time, since it's locked in, it's a little bit easier to get a center point. Or not the center point, but a part. A little bit more. And all like getting a good part is you want to do is make it to where you're not capturing or trapping down fibers or any more than necessary anyway. Let's do a little bit more there. This is me spending way too much time on that step. 2, 3. So see how we got a nice little tail there. Pull this back. 1, 2. Now we'll call that good. Here, I think it was Mike who was asking about the weather because it just now started thundering big time here. So like I said, next up, I didn't say it. Next week, I think we'll be tying some grayling dry flies. How do I know that's what they eat? Because that's what we're told. All right, so we got this part nice and done. And then we'll flip it over. We'll throw a little head cement there. And this will be done. And like I said, this doesn't have to be like, I'm spending way too much time trying to get it just right. This back hook, but all we're doing is just attaching the zonker onto the back hook. That's it. But I don't want anything to fall apart. And that can't hurt. All right, so we're going to go back to our spider wire. Pull this to 6 inches again. Pull this back. Everything out of the way. Put it in like that. Try not to catch the hair. And there's that. That part is, the rear hook is done. Okay, easy enough. I'll throw another front hook in. We're going to do this one red. We're going to do this one chartreuse. How's that sound? There we go. So we're going to put our thread on again. And we'll go back to the hook point. So when the thread's just hanging down, we've got the hook point's the only thing showing, or excuse me, the thread basically will come down to where it would touch the hook point. So to right about there. See how it's not touching, but close. That's all we want. Here's our hook we've been working on. We'll get it to where everything's going parallel. Two wraps in, make sure it's on top of the hook shank, the way it's supposed to be. See how those are going straight. And I'll look at my tail to where the tail's going to go just past my spring, because it's just a pre-measured spot that I've already gotten ready. Oh, if you're watching on Instagram, come over and check us out on YouTube. You'll be able to see a little bit better, quite a bit better, because we got four cameras. You'll see better and hear better and chat with people like Equisnan that is complimenting Katie on her transitions of the cameras.
Thank you so much.
So there we go. Push this through the cone. And what I was showing earlier that can help quite a bit is if you have a problem getting it through the cone or the hook eye, get your bobbin threader, plug it, do that. Do it again, bobbin threader. And this is not necessary, but if you sit here and fiddling with it for more than 2 or 3 minutes, this can, for more than 2 or 3 minutes, that can help out a bunch. So see how we pull that down? I've got rabbit hair up my nose. Don't you hate when that happens, honey? I do. So I'm doing tight wraps here. I'm going to double check my length, make sure that I'm where I want to be. Yeah, that looks good. Now we'll pull this and have that on the bottom. And do our best not to stab ourselves again. Which I haven't made myself bleed on one of these yet, so it's a good thing I did it when I was live. Cut that off. So you can see my little, and this is not wire, it's just spider wire, which is not wire at all. So we're doing tight wraps. Catch those last two little pieces in. And now we're good. So let's try to wrap some, put some more weight on here. This good and tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wiggle that off. Looks good. See, when I put the thread and the articulation stuff in here, I'm not able to slide the lead as easily as I normally am with pair hook shank. So that's why I do it that way. Get that down. Okay, so see how we got that done. I'm going to make sure that's still right where I want it. Make sure it's good and tight so it doesn't spin or anything. That looks good. Now I'm going to flatten out my thread. If you got a question, let me know. Question about photography, let Katie know. Question about the weather. I'm just building a little ramp right now. Now with kind of lighter wraps. Hop over that lead. Now we'll bring it back this way. I'm going to try to open this up a little bit. My thread, that is. How's that looking over on your side? I think it's looking just fine. I don't know how necessary it is to get all of it covered, but thread's cheap. Or I should say thread's inexpensive. So our thread's not cheap, but for the amount of time we're putting in, it's almost good. Question for Katie. Do you have a macro focus rail? And if yes, what is yours? I might pick one up.
I do, and I don't ever use it.
There you go. I remember getting Katie, like being real excited because I started researching them, and I got one for Katie for Christmas or birthday or something. Did you use it for like a second, or is it just too much of a pain to get set up?
Yeah, yeah, it's really good if like you're taking a photograph of something that like you just want to get like one angle of it and like as clear and still of a picture as possible. If that makes sense. So with flies, I'm like always turning and moving them. Like there's a fiber out of place on one side, but not the other. And so I'm just, constantly like moving stuff around and having like the camera attached to that focus rail I felt it was like inhibiting. If that makes sense. Like I could get it in focus just fine, like without the rail. And I wanted to move my camera around and have the freedom to like change things up quickly, and having everything connected to this rail, like that was like in the middle of the whole thing, was just like too much for me. So yeah, I think that they have their place for sure. But like what I use them for, because I'm always like taking pictures of a different fly every week. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's little, sometimes I've changed the lenses. It's just, you know, it was kind of in the way. If that makes sense. I don't remember what brand it is. Was it a Canon or was it like a?
No, something from B&H Photo that I
Yeah.
researched, but that's probably like honestly like half the stuff that we've got. Like it's like, oh, this looks like it'd be a good idea, and it's kind of like fly tying. Like some of it's nice to have. Most of it you don't need.
I mean, I think if I took pictures of midges all day,
and you had a certain position,
and
you
I
just put
had
them
like
right
my
in.
white background that I wanted to use every single time, and like I'm taking this picture, and it's like my stock picture, and everything is exactly, lighting is like, I had my lighting the way I wanted it. I had the background exactly the way I wanted it. Like it was going to be the same thing every time, and all I had to do is switch out like the same size of fly. Then yeah, that would be great because like
you can make your
it holds it in
macro
place.
adjustments.
Yeah, holds it in place. So, yeah, for sure.
There we go. All right, so we got that part in there. So you see how let's see if you can see it right here.
Oh, hello.
You can't really see
Hello.
it.
May we help you? Misha wants to say hello.
Okay.
Can you say hello, Misha? Come here. Okay.
She wants to come over here.
Go around to you. Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see right here. The stuff is loose. Come here, dog. Come on. How are you doing, little lady? Huh? How are you doing? Do you need to go outside? Is that what it is? Are you just bored? What is it? What do you think? What do you guys think? We could use some of you for dubbing. So look at all that.
She's like, Dad, that's
lots of
embarrassing.
stuff.
Stop.
There's stuff that we
You're
could
embarrassing
use.
her.
It's okay. We all have shed a little bit. Oh, you better get your nose out there. Man. Yeah. All right, so we'll spin this around. I really don't have to do this, but using that brush just makes it just that much more. Oh, did y'all hear that? Remember, people be like, get off the phone when there'd be a bad thunderstorm because the lightning could get on the phone line and go through, like go right into your ear, I guess. Get killed by on the phone. You missing? No, you didn't, John. You're just on time. But it is good seeing you. If you want some cool garage pictures of mayflies, check out John's little page. He's got some cool pics of the real deal pickle. All right, so we got that in there. I'm going to take this and cut it kind of long. We'll shove. So see how there's that much of it there left sticking out. We'll shove this in there. Pull the bead up a little bit. There we go. Oh, I didn't want that to happen. I was out fishing. That's a good excuse. Very good excuse. I'll take that all day long. Hopefully, we'll be out fishing before you know it. The last time I was fishing, unfortunately, was in Norway. And the reason I say, yeah, the reason I say unfortunately because that's been a couple weeks. I love how now I break my thread. No one really says anything because it's like, yeah, oh, there it is. Got his one over. He's live, so. There we go. Okay. See, I can set that little bit of a gap there. That's perfect. I'm going to pull this down. Did you catch anything, John? Was it a good fishing trip? I bet it was, regardless of whether you caught something or not. I won't cut off another inch. No, I won't use chartreuse. Chartreuse. Just because all sorts of black and white have been the probably #1 requested color in Alaska. But the guy who really knows what he's talking about, he said just black and then put whatever highlight colors you want. Chartreuse, red, purple, whatever you want. Did 1 point there. See it? Point #2 here. Here we go. I used to watch people do that. And man, how they did it so quick and did it perfect. The key is they're not perfect. There's none of them are just right. They're good enough. All right, so hold that right like that. Make sure it's straight. A couple wraps there. That might be a little bit too long, but we'll see if I can cram it in there. Looking good right now. Sorry, my fingers are in the way. But you don't really want to, you want to leave a bit of a tab to get under there, because if you don't, when you tighten down like this, it'll kind of push it all in there, and then you can be tying not on the not on your hide anymore. So we'll call that good there. Just like this. And I've got this saltwater Flashabou that has got a little bit of a chartreuse tint to it. Take my one piece and, oh, this might be a little bit shorter. Cut it in half. A little shorter is, I guess, okay. Because we'll add some more flash. So when I tie this first one in, switch over to the side here. When I tie this first one in, I'm going to have this going out. See, they all have like a little bit of a, see how that's curved down? So I'm going to do this facing out. So this one, when I bring it back, is going to be facing down. Like this. See how it's kind of not as wonky and all over the place. Yep. This one's just going wonky all over the place no matter what. That. 1, 2. 1, 2. Told you that was just all over the place, period. And last but not least, we'll do a, we've got triple ice fiber, but I'd rather use crinkles on because it's straighter, but I don't think I've got chartreuse and crinkles on. Got some cool colors, but not chartreuse, so we'll use triple ice fiber. I'll just leave it on here. Let's see. There we go, like that. Okay. That might be a little too much, actually. That looks right. And I'm just going to take a little bit of my Zocker here, my black Zocker, and then make a little bit of dubbing just to shove in behind this cone head before we whip finish it. And that'll be it. And this will be, we'll cut the hook off of it. But this will be the last one for the night because you guys have been so patient. And so, I don't know what the word is. Yeah, that's good. See, this one's going to look good when I get out of the vise. I think it looks good right now, but and I didn't do it on the last one, but I will because it kind of, I like to let it soak in for a minute, but I will put a little bit of head cement right behind the cone. And I'll do one more. I don't ever put this many whip finishes on there. I don't know why I'm doing it so much for these, but I am. Those are not going to go anywhere. So that looks cool with the sparkle on top there. Pull this off. This little this. Now we're going to pull this off. You want, I guess you can leave like that. So I'm going to find the hook. Get my flash out of the way. Studious. Well, I told you this was one that I tied live a second ago for our members as they're watching. And if you want to be a member, you can go live with us one or more one-on-one. But see my flash on this side, how pretty and long it is. And on this side, it's not there. See how it's chopped off? Because somehow when I was doing this and I went to cut it off, go like this, get it in there. And then before I just clip it, I put it around my hand like this. Like that. Make sure you bring enough flies. Well, I've got you coming. Won't you have enough for me? And Gary, where have you been? Okay, so now we got this out. That's what we just popped off. So, got a cool little chartreuse, little ripple ice fiber on top. Got our stuff going down the sides, chartreuse bottom, and our little stinger there. We're trailer hook there. And I've got a nose full of rabbit. So that's it. Let's switch over to the side. Where have you been here the whole time? Well, I hope you approve of we've got the white and black. We'll tie a handful more white and black. Maybe have a dozen white and blacks, maybe, and then have a couple dozen just different variations. And that's just so this one pattern. Then we'll do some more intruder styles of basically the same thing. But we're going to do some with some more flashy fronts, flashy heads. But this right here with basically just different color throats, that's going to be, I hope, the meal ticket. I hope you agree, Gary, because if not, then I'll be using all your flies. But anyway, all right. Well, guys, thank you so much. It has been, it feels like it's been a quick one, but Katie, I'll switch it back over to the thing. And we'll go ahead and hop off of Instagram. Yep, we'll end that. So, guys, thanks so much for watching again. I know it was not our normal fly. Like, it's not our small or even recently our medium-sized dry fly or nymph. Tying a cool little streamer here, little Dolly Llama, and me not getting Steve Yates's joke when he hopped on first thing, free Tibet. Yeah, I know. But anyway, that's going to be a fun one to fish coming up here in about a month. We're excited about it. But next week, we'll be tying some probably size 12 stimulators, but all black, and some other attractor style dry flies that we'll be tying to fish in Alaska for grayling. Thank you, Truman, John, Jimmy, Ed, and Gary. I'm glad they will work. Freddie, You guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I will turn it over to Katie and let her say goodbye. We'll see you next Wednesday night, guys.
You guys have a great evening. Have a good weekend. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody. See you next time.